Okay, so I had The Yellow Wallpaper by Charlotte Gilman, and the author bio is her father left her family it forced them to live in poverty. She was married in 1884 to her first husband and was seen as more of like a feminist, where her husband was definitely more traditional and tried to like constrict her and her views when she was very outspoken and he did not want her to be. She suffered with depression and was cured with a rest cure, much like the main character in the book. And then she met her second husband, and he was definitely more feminist and more aligned with her views and allowed her to write more books and do more of what she wanted to do. And she wrote she wrote her book criticizing the doctor that quote unquote cured her. All right, so the exposition. The exposition is the narrator doesn't have a name. Did you write it on the wrong thing? Oh no!
Talk about that. That's fine.
Okay, so the exposition is the narrator and her husband moved into a summer house to try and cure the narrator's nervous disorder. And then the rising action is that she is stuck in like a very ugly nursery and is banned from writing and is slowly like getting worse and worse and going like crazy basically. And the climax is she's stuck in this nursery and she starts seeing like visions of this woman in her wallpaper. And she's like slowly going crazier and crazier. And the climax is she decides to free the woman in the wallpaper by ripping it all off the walls. Which is the falling action, is her ripping all the wallpaper off. And the resolution is her husband finds her and faints, but is basically like, it's hinting that he dies and she's finally free from him. So like he dies, she's free, and she can do whatever she wants. The conflicts is that she's fighting society, her husband, and herself. So person versus society, person versus person, and person versus self. Because all these people are telling her she's crazy and she doesn't think she is, and then she's like slowly fighting with herself and everyone else in her life. Oh, the setting. Okay. The setting, it's a colonial mansion that's kind of isolated. The nursery that she's stuck in is a very big room with windows with bars over them and very ugly wallpaper. It's set in the late 19th century, and the importance is she's locked in this room for basically the whole story, so that's what causes her to go crazy. So the setting is important. And then the point of view is it's first person, and it's written basically, the perspective is the narrator's diary. So she's writing in it like her diary, and that's what the book is. And then did I get everything?
Just character details.
Oh, character details, my bad. Okay, so there are 4 characters. The narrator, she's a mother, she's a writer, she's dynamic, round, and kind of submissive because she just follows all of her husband's orders even though she doesn't agree with them. And then John is her husband. He's a physician. He's controlling and dismissive. And he's also static and flat because he just doesn't, like, he keeps the same opinions throughout the whole book and just does whatever he thinks and doesn't really consider her. The third character is Jenny, John's sister, who's described as helpful, the traditional woman, and is also static and flat. And then this last one isn't really a character, but I wrote a character thing about it anyways. But it's the woman in the wallpaper. She's described as trapped, she's slowly becoming more clear, she's persistent, and she's also static and flat. Oh, and then the theme is sometimes a treacherous journey is necessary for obtaining freedom.